start with introductions, and Tiffany, let's start with you.
All right, sounds good. If you don't know me, I am Tiffany Galzinis. I'm the realtor in residence for Follow Up Boss and also a team leader of a team out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. So have anybody looking for a little beach view, send them my way. But excited to be here, excited to talk about how all of these tools work together, how to win you guys more business. I don't know, this is a really great Christmas present, holiday present for everyone. So Andrew, thank you for putting this together. I'm really excited.
Awesome. Yeah, we're excited too. Jesse.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jesse, founder of Call Action, original follow-up boss integration partner. Work with a lot of the biggest teams around. Been in the real estate space for about 35 years or so.
All right, John Crab.
Perfect. Hey, everyone. John Crabb, co-founder, CEO of Agent Image and Access.com. Been in the space since 1999. So 25 years, 25th year. Website design, development, digital marketing, branding, all of that. And yeah, super excited to be here and share how this really fits into what we do and can help your website and help your business grow.
Thank you. Brian.
Hey everyone, Brian Shore. I'm the VP of Business Development over at Agent Image and Access.com. And yeah, I'm just here to help where I can and fill in the gaps if needed, guys. And we're really excited, to be a part of this community.
All right. And who did I miss? Steven?
Hi, I'm Steve Whiting, co-founder of Street Text. And I wish I'd been in as long as Jesse, but we're about 12 years in the real estate space. You got me. You got me beat. Big integration partner of Follow Up Boss. And I'm really excited to show you the search links today and all that the team at Real Scout has done. They've done a great job. So very excited for the event.
All right, fantastic. And then we have a few other people who are on the line to provide support during this. But anyone else I missed that's presenting today? All right, I got like 10 windows up. All right, so I'm going to dive in because if there's one thing that we've learned from the FUB community, it's this. Real Scout has become the go-to for nurturing your leads, whether they're buyers or sellers. But we've been hearing a lot from the community that you want help not only nurturing leads, but also attracting new leads. And while Real Scout is not a lead gen company, we have a lot of friends who are. And some of those friends are on the call today, so they're going to show you how to pair Real Scout's newest functionality, our new feature called Search Links, with their products to do exactly that. So this is all about giving you a new way to pull new leads, leads into your FUB account, into your Real Scout experience, whether those are looking to buy or sell. We have a lot of our development partners on the call today. So we have Street Text, we have Call Action, and we have Agent Image, and they're going to show off their product and how it works with this new functionality. And then, of course, I'm so excited to be joined by Tiffany here. Tiffany just gave her introduction, but it's always a thrill to be presenting alongside her because she's the one who's going to help you connect the dots and translate the tech geek layer into, in practice, how does this make an impact in your business? So I'm going to walk you through a few things. And I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Andrew Flackner. I'm the co-founder and president of Real Scout. It's great to see some familiar faces on the call and maybe some new ones as well. So I'm going to talk about a quick refresher on what Real Scout is, why it's so important to the FUB community, and then we'll get into how to build out search links. And then what I'm most excited about is bringing some of these development partners onto the call today to explain how it all works with their product. So we work with thousands and thousands of FUB customers. And these FUB customers use Real Scout and Follow Up Boss together. We call it FUB Scout to really take their business to the next level. And these are just a few of the folks, the high performance teams that are using both of these products successfully. But we're not here to talk about how they're using the product today because how they're using the product is about to change. You might have seen in Inman News last week, Real Scout announced Search Links. And this is the first major update to the Pro Plus offering. This is our platform that we announced over a year ago. And as a quick refresher on what Real Scout's all about, we have one commitment to you, and that is to ensure that you don't end up with a database. FUB is an incredible CRM, and still some of you may have some contacts in your CRM that need a little bit more love, that need a little bit more action, and that's what Real Scout's all about because the people in your FUB account, they have questions about real estate, and they have questions often about what their home is worth, how that's changing, what homes sold in the neighborhood, what listings are hitting the market. And when they have those questions, we want them to come to you. We want them to get that information from you so that you'll be top of mind when they are ready to make a buying or selling decision. So we at Real Scout make a living doing this for our partners. We've won all types of awards and accolades. We have over 100,000 users on the platform and millions of consumers. Real Scout's been around for 13 years. So I founded the company 13 years. So we definitely have some veterans on the call today. But today we're not going to talk too much about seller nurture. We're actually going to talk about buyer nurture. And many of those buyers happen to also be sellers. So you definitely want to engage them and captivate them on a platform that you have visibility into and control over. So real quick refresher on what Real Scout does for buyer nurture. Real Scout is known in the industry for having really deep integrations with the MLS. So for an agent, this is an MLS grade experience where you have all of the search criteria. You can search across multiple MLSs as long as you subscribe to them on Real Scout. And the consumer experience is really one of a kind. It is beautiful. It's intuitive. It's written using natural language. So here's how we would notify a client about a listing. So this is going to be pretty important in a few minutes when you hear about getting new people into your Real Scout account. This is really how you would nurture them using our natural language listing alerts. And we send hundreds of millions of these emails. We know that they're effective and they get 16 times the click-through rate when compared to the industry average for real estate emails. So just imagine what would happen to your business if you had more people clicking through on your content instead of going elsewhere to do that. Real Scout has an experience for consumers that looks and feels like what those consumers are used to, but it is branded just for you. And we have all types of bells and whistles that make the product sticky and engaging. For instance, we use computer vision, which is a form of machine learning and artificial intelligence, to read the photographs from the MLS and create a really intuitive way to skip to the pictures of the kitchen if you care about the kitchen, or skip over to the bathrooms, and compare listings side by side. So consumers love this because if there's 3 listings, here are 3 listings in San Francisco, for instance, you can compare these listings side by side, and we automatically put the photos room by room. So you can see the kitchens and the bedrooms and the bathrooms in an apples to apples comparison. And of course, there's map search, there's school attendance boundaries, there's everything that your consumers have come to expect. And recently, we've been making a lot of noise around auto nurture because many of our FUB users have big databases and they want to nurture contacts using home value alerts and using our listing alerts, but they don't necessarily want to configure each alert individually. And today, you're going to be hearing about an announcement, Search Links, which takes that and offers even more in the way of automation and lead attraction. So the reality is you can get leads flowing into Real Scout from anywhere because once they hit your FUB account, you can begin nurturing them. And Search Links is going to make that so much easier. So how does a search link work? A search link is a permanent link that links to a search template that you come up with in Real Scout. So it all starts with an alert template. So when you log into your Real Scout account, on the left side of the screen, you're going to see templates. And once you click on templates, you're going to create a new template, and that's going to take you to our alert creation page. What's unique about Real Scout compared to many of the IDX vendors out there is that we have a deep MLS level integration with your MLS. So there are oftentimes hundreds of criteria. You can add criteria if you don't see it here, but it allows for really heavy duty searching. And you can also search across multiple MLSs. So if you subscribe to multiple MLSs, you're going to be able to search across multiple MLSs. It's going to be a slightly simpler search because it's the lowest common denominator of the fields across those multiple MLSs. And then once you create the alert, then you're going to create the schedule and say, I want this to go out every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, for instance. Once you have this alert template dialed in, let's just say that it was, I don't know, homes in Maine. Or let me give you like a more specific example that really is a nod to the search functionality that we have on Real Scout. Maybe you want to find homes in Austin that have a pool that are within 3 miles of downtown that are under $1 million. You can now create that template and then create a search link. So step 2 is you're going to want to click on search links in the extras tab on the side of your screen, and then create a search link. Now, when you create a search link, the first thing you're going to do is you are going to choose a template. And again, this could be the Austin homes with pools under $1 million, and it could be high-rise condos in LA. You can really create a lot of specificity around these searches, and you'll see why that's important today when you hear from these partners on the call. Once you do that, you can put a display name in. You can choose from our array of professionally designed meta images here, and you can add a tag. Now, I think for most people on the call, they know why tags are important, but I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. Once the search link is created, you can then copy that link and you can do all types of things with it. You're going to hear a deep dive today from a few different vendors, but you can post it on social media. Say, hey, check out these lakefront cabins in Maine. You can run PPC campaigns and say, hey, you want to see the Pacific Heights homes in San Francisco under $3 million? Here they are. You can embed them on your website and have a really beautiful on-ramp for consumers to get pulled into a home search with you. You could even text your clients, here are all the homes with pools in Mountain View. And that is going to take your consumers to a search experience. And that search experience, when they click and they take action and it pops up with registration, there's going to be a little checkbox here. And the checkbox is going to say, do you want to save this search to your account? Most consumers, of course, will want to continue receiving listings if they clicked on this link and they're interested about homes that fit this criteria. Now, if you added a tag, we would automatically create a search based on that tag. And that tag could always kick off an action plan in Follow Up Boss. Or it can be a tag that enables auto nurture. And auto nurture, if you're not familiar, is what's going to create home value alerts and listing alerts for consumers in your Real Scout account. Of course, then you can go back to your Real Scout account and see the performance of each one of these links. And that's going to enable you to even see which leads are coming in. But all of this is going to flow nicely into your Follow Up Boss account. So this is all very new. And I think that it's one thing to see the academic approach where I bring out the chalkboard and explain how this works from a search link creation standpoint. But I think it's so much cooler when you can see how our vendor partners are using these links. And so I want to kick it off with StreetText and have Stephen show how StreetText is incorporating these search links. So Steve, it's all you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Andrew. And these updates that you shared, I mean, everybody on this call, you might be about to witness the fastest way to generate leads, provide a high quality lead experience, and automate everything. But quickly first, why run ads on social media, right? Well, if you check your phone and you look at how much time is spent on Instagram and Facebook, it is huge. And that, every lead that is on the big portals is also on Facebook and Instagram. The difference with social is that you pay a fraction of that price to get the lead, and it's way less competitive. So you have an opportunity to provide value early to the lead in their decision-making process. However, the challenge with social media has often been the timeline, right? What if the lead is 3 months out or worse, 6 months out? So thanks to StreetText, Follow Up Boss, and Real Scout, that is now solved. Okay. So you can use ads, just as Andrew was showing you, like when you create those templates, you can use ads to speak directly to your ideal customer. So you can create a highly customized property list for areas or neighborhoods that are in high demand, or for particular types of property that your ideal customer is searching for. So for example, check out these ads. Home with a main floor master bedroom, less maintenance, and a smaller footprint. Who is this speaking to? Those looking to downsize. And check out the stats, leads at $1.44. And because this ad is speaking to an older demographic looking to downsize, 60+% of these leads have a home to sell. Maybe homes on the water are in high demand. And typically those buying waterfront homes are not first-time home buyers. They also have a home to sell. This is why we call these buyer ads sellers in disguise. And these waterfront leads are coming in at $2.78. Or maybe in your area, it's homes with pools, right? And notice in the ad, it says this list is updated daily. So keep that in mind when we get back to Real Scout. Leads at $2.12. Or what about, homes targeting families that are looking to upsize, get something a little bit bigger? 311 leads at $3.61. Okay, last one. This one is Genius 2 and created by Chase, who is probably on this webinar today. A list of all the open houses in Cypress, and thanks to Real Scout, this is all possible, and 604 leads at $3.89. So as you can see, the options are endless to create property lists to engage prospective buyers and sellers. And as you're designing your property list, keep in mind, from NAR's most recent report, keep this in mind. As you start targeting 34-year-olds and up, 40 to 80% of them own a home. And so there's many, many sellers in disguise in these buyer ads as well. Okay, so now that you have a few marketing ideas in mind, head over to Real Scout and create a template just like Andrew showed you. You're going to create a custom template. You're going to create that property list. And as an example, I'm going to use that list of open houses in Cypress. So we're going to match that to the ad that we create. So save the template. And now you're going to select how frequently you want to engage those leads. So Real Scout gives you a bunch of control. So if your ad says you're going to update them daily, then make sure it's daily. You could do weekly. You could really do whatever you like. Pick a tag. This is super important. And it's the key to automating the whole process. So as leads come in from StreetText to Follow Up Boss, if they have this tag, they will automatically be subscribed to this list. So I'll make the tag open house so it's easy to remember. Now you're going to create the search link. You don't have to really add much else, but feel free to customize it as you like. So then you're going to save that link URL and then head back over to StreetText. From StreetText, click Launch Ads, select a proven template like the buyer lead ad, click Select. You're going to put in, remember, I made my template open houses in Cypress, so you're just going to put in open houses in Cypress. So all of our templates make it very easy for you just to put in the information that you need, add a quick photo, click Next, and now paste that Real Scout search URL here. Click Next and select your targeting. And we're almost there. Click Next again, and you're going to choose your daily budget. And this is the super important part again. Add the open house tag that you added to the Real Scout template. And if you want this ad to auto run going forward, turn on StreetText AI, and we will automatically catch ads if they lose performance and relaunch or make adjustments to the ad as needed to improve the performance. And that last step is super powerful if you want to just automate the entire process. And check it out, this ad is still going, and now it's up to 716 leads. And so as leads come into Follow Up Boss, they will automatically be sent to Real Scout, and Real Scout will start nurturing them. And now from Follow Up Boss, you can see exactly what properties people are looking at, saving and engaging. So that's all the time I have today to show you how powerful this search links feature is. But the lead experience is truly incredible, and all of this is a big thanks to Real Scout. It's also worth noting that StreetText, we do have specific ads, which we didn't, seller ads, which we didn't have time to cover today, but they also work alongside of Real Scout's valuation tools. And we have built-in remarketing to keep your database engaged and in sync with Follow Up Boss as well. And as a bonus, if you want our AI to build you a bunch of ads and images that are designed to work with Real Scout search links, then you can scan this link, enter a few details, and our AI will start working on those. And once it's complete, it will send you an email that you can use to generate leads right into Real Scout. Thanks, Andrew and Tiffany.
Yeah, fantastic.
So I want to bring up a couple of ideas there since we have a couple of minutes. So with the ability to add the tags to the individual search links, like think about how that works from a scripting standpoint. So if you're adding that open house tag from that ad into Follow Up Boss, you can create smart lists based on that tag. Then when you're calling those leads, if they've engaged in this ad, they want to go to an open house this weekend, your conversation with them is going to be different. Think about how much more powerful it is when you are saying to them, hey, I understand that you are interested in checking out some open houses this weekend. I'd love to come along with you so that you have an advisor with you while you're going to these open houses. Is that something you would be interested in? Maybe we can grab a coffee after one of the open houses and talk about your home buying experience. That's a much more powerful script than just saying, hey, do you want to buy a house today? How about today? How about today? You're giving them something that's actually what they're looking for. And if you can relate with those leads based off of the activities that they're taking on the ads, then it's going to be so much more powerful. The same thing with if you were to run ads on homes with a pool or any other downsizing homes, you can customize those scripts to your smart lists so that you're having conversations with the leads that are relevant to them. They're more likely to talk to you.
Yeah, well said, Tiffany.
Mhm.
And if you're like me and you're going to not retain everything you hear today and you want to get a repeat, don't worry, this is going to be recorded. So it's very easy to, replay this at your own pace and get all this stuff hooked up properly. We're gonna have time for Q&A at the end, and I'm of course, Tiffany, jump in anytime you'd like to add some context or point things out. But with that, let's see who we have next. We have call action. So Jesse, you're up.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity here. So I will show you really quickly, and I'm going to make this really, really fast because I don't want to waste anybody's time. All right, so really there's kind of two phases in all of our real estate business. There's the front end, which is generating leads. Most of those leads are going to convert at 1 to 3% because that's kind of like really bottom of the funnel. The majority of our leads are going to be in this long-term nurture, and this is where Real Scout is super powerful because we're going to give customers what they're really looking for and keep them basically dreaming, moving down a funnel from being aspirational, maybe down into research, and then eventually becoming transactional. So the important thing is always for us to have the right message to the right person at the right time. And so search links is super important because what we're able to do is tailor basically the information that they're looking for directly to them. So what we want to do is we want to start off with basically Real Scout. Real Scout's been around for a really long time. I've known Andrew forever. Some of the fastest listing alerts that are out there. So this is really competitive and really important in a market where maybe things are moving fairly quickly. And if you're in a hyper competitive market, you need to be alerted as quickly as possible. And that customer, when they're getting those real-time alerts, is going to reach out to you and they're going to appreciate that, that specific user experience. Now, Call Action basically was one of the earliest basically integration partners with Follow Up Boss. About 4 years ago, we launched the first embedded app. And what it did is it brought automated text messaging into basically inside of Follow Up Boss to allow for long-term nurture of basically leads using text messaging and allowing basically people that are the best at email to do email while we stay in our lane and sticking basically specifically with text messaging. So this is a little screenshot of our embedded app. And so why this is going to be really important on the front end of lead generation is things are kind of changing here, kind of going forward, and you need to get first-party authorization. And this first-party authorization, this one-to-one is going to be critical that you have a product like Real Scout that's going to allow you to get that registration directly into your own personal ecosystem. Now, part of the advantage of Call Action is that we can help on the front end to generate those leads. And I'm actually going to show everyone here, if you want to pull out your cell phone, a real life example of both basically the call action experience in terms of getting the information delivered to you, as well as the search experience. So there's a phone number here online. So you can imagine this as being a text sign writer. It could be an ad. It could be a wrap on your phone, on your truck. It could be your moving vans, direct mail, or anything like that. And what we're specialized in is on the front end of this is that we're using text as the lead capture tool. What that does is it guarantees with 100% certainty that you're going to get the real phone number of that particular person. And that lead is going to automatically be transferred directly inside of your Follow Up Boss account. So those of you that might be texting this at this point in time, what you're getting back is an instant response with basically a pre-formatted search from Real Scout with their new search link product that is going to take you directly to a Novato home list search. Now, the reason why this is important is Real Scout's mobile version is absolutely stunning and very, very user-friendly and works across all devices. No app to download, nothing basically to do to get them into that user experience. Then the best part is that you can get that first-party authorization. Now, after you've generated all these leads, you have them on auto nurture inside of Follow Up Boss, because those leads will be automatically transferred both from a partial where Call Action may have captured that phone number and sent the lead in. But once that person lands on the landing page and fills out the form, the relationship is then basically created inside of Follow Up Boss Now we're going to have the automated auto nurture sequence from Real Scout that is going to nurture that particular lead. Now, as a user, what's going to become important is that we will sometimes be able to see when that particular person is revisiting those Real Scout pages by using custom tags that are pushed by Real Scout directly inside of Follow Up Boss. So if you use some really customized tag filters, what you're able to do thereafter basically is note that someone is looking at the email, go into call action. We have pre-written drip campaigns for people that have looked at a home value report, people that are curious about the market activity. And then you can start basically a text drip campaign to have this multi-model touch across different communication channels to try and get that person to respond. Now, the beautiful part of this is once we basically start to have that conversation with that person and we dig into what they are interested into, we can create these custom search links and embed them directly into these text conversations to get that customer to continue to revisit Real Scout in case basically they're missing some of the emails or basically not paying as much attention to that. The ability to use all of the filters that are inside of the MLS allows for that right conversation to the right person at the right time. And so at the end of the day, a couple things that we could do at Call Action basically is that text messaging delivers a really high response rate. This is one of our clients' dashboards. And you can see here that they've nurtured over 80,000 leads. And we're averaging about a 47% response rate, but it's taking lots of touches to make that happen. And so when you combine those touches with this personalized email and personalized text messages that are driving that traffic back to Real Scout, what we're able to do is basically generate bottom of the funnel customers, nurture them from aspirational to research to transactional at the very bottom of the funnel. Now, for those of you that have got a big database and you need to engage those customers quickly before these changes that are happening in January, for this one-to-one, Call Action has a revive campaign that can take some of your older leads, start a conversation, average a 45-50% response rate, and then you can put them onto a personalized search directly from Real Scout based on the areas that they're looking at. That's all I got. Hopefully that was useful, and we'll go from there.
Thanks,
That's
Jesse.
really
We got a-
huge. I think you're going to see that response rate going up too by adding these search links into the text campaigns. I mean, if you're sending information to people, you're sending them what they want to see. So not just properties that are generic from, you know, any other regular IDX feed, you're sending the specific MLS search criteria that people want to see. So you can give them a more customized approach, which is really great.
Yeah, that
Sorry, Andrew.
continuity
That's
of that customer journey, right? From the ad that they were attracted in and keeping that consistent basically is the most important part because then the customer feels like they're actually listening.
Right, right. And it gives you an opportunity to segment your database, right? So one of the things you can also do is go into your existing, I mean, yes, we want to generate more leads, but don't we also want to work the leads we already have, right? And part of that, you know, if you're not following what Jesse was saying about engaging in your database and getting that consent, you need the consent to call them pretty soon. Like there's some changes to the laws that are coming, and we're not going to get into the details of that, but you need to get into reviving your database now. If you get that consent from them, then you can continue to call them. So, but the way to do that is to send them the information that they want to see. So go through your database, use all of those tags that have been imported into your database over the years of what people are looking for. Maybe it's zip codes, maybe it's certain features like pools or school zone or, you know, whatever that might be, and create those search links based off of those segments within your database and start them on a call action campaign based off those tags and those segments. That's going to be a big impact, and you're going to get a great response from that, combined with the nurture that you're already getting from Real Scout, adding call action to that. And then, you know, add street text to that is too. Run a retargeting campaign with street text using that same search link, now you're in front of that consumer over and over again with information that they want to see. You become the expert. And I think we'll get into that more once we hear from Agent Image too. But go ahead. Back to you, Andrew.
No, I think we'll pass the mic right over to Agent Image because for a lot of people, the top of the funnel begins at their website. Doesn't have to, but it's certainly how you present yourself and your brand to the world. And oftentimes, home search websites, the IDX can be lacking, and so we've been getting a lot of requests to integrate directly into agent websites or to build our own. And we don't have interest in building our own websites when there are companies like Agent Image that do such a great job with it. So we've enjoyed getting to know Agent Image over the last few months, and they've been incredible partners and working with our team and integrating Real Scout search links and widgets into their sites. And I don't want to steal their thunder, so I'm going to pass it right on.
All right, thanks so much, Andrew. What I think is phenomenal, just watching everyone present here today is how all these technologies work together. Like all of these things can be such a part of a really a perfect tech stack that supports your business end to end. And when it comes to our side of what we do on the website, digital marketing, and your website is really the sort of cornerstone and hub where people look to you. If they're looking you up online, day, night, doesn't matter. Often their first impression of what they see is going to be your website. It's going to be how they connect with you. Do they find the website sticky? Do they find there to be that it's there with intent? What I love about we've integrated Follow Up Boss for years, but as Andrew and I kind of worked on this over the last several months and looked at the search links product as well as Real Scout overall, I felt there was such a huge use for this on someone's website. How I look at it is whether or not you already have an IDX search and MLS search on your site, Real Scout slots in so nicely and enhances the overall experience with the site. It makes it that much more sticky. It gives the consumer another entry point, another point of curiosity to actually, search properties, get into your ecosystem, become a lead, and sort of, go the full gamut to a transaction closing. And what we did when we developed this is we really wanted to build something that would actually look much different than a typical home search, things like that. With search links, you can really drill down. If you've got, to what was said earlier, if you have waterfront properties as a focus, you can put these in community pages and actually have them specifically drive traffic to distressed properties, waterfront properties, whatever your goal is that you want your consumer, your visitors to see that you're the expert in. It presents so beautifully, and it's such a great way to keep visitors coming back to your site and utilizing your site to where it's not just sort of a pretty face and a curb appeal aspect of what you do, but it actually is functional, and it actually will give people a reason to use your site and come back to it, bookmark it, which is always a challenge. To us, a website, when you look at it, it should be cohesive with your social media. It should be cohesive with everything you do. And search links, Andrew, to me, it feeds so many different aspects of what you do. You can really, really leverage it. And Brian, I'll kick it over to you for a little bit. You're here as well. What's your input and your thoughts on this also?
Honestly, John, I'm just gonna second, here as far as creating an ultimate tech stack. I loved the way you put that. Really, what you're doing, you're enhancing the user experience, which ultimately leads to an agent's overall potential of what they're going to get out of whether it's the website, Real Scout, the technologies that Follow Up Boss provides. All these different avenues are exactly that. They're different avenues of potential for agents to capitalize on the technology that's at their fingertips at this point, right? So I thought that was very well put.
No, and when we developed Access.com, which was also mentioned on here too, we wanted to build a website builder that would cater to new agents just starting out, maybe agents who don't understand the importance of a website necessarily, but also give them a path to a website that's there for them in year 1 or year 40 as they graduate up through Agent Image. But our goal and philosophy with all of this was always to partner with other companies and other within the industry that provide best-in-class tools. A lot of the platforms you see out there today sort of provide, a good experience across multiple, there'll be all-in-one platforms that sort of are good at a lot of things, but not great at everything. And our take was, we know what we're best at. It's website design, it's digital marketing, search engine placement. That's our wheelhouse. But when you look at third parties, like what Real Scout does, what Follow Up Boss does, what iHomeFinder does, what all these different companies do, they're the best in their space. And we just love working with cool people who have cool products and integrating those. So our goal when we built all of this was to have your website act more as a hub for your productivity software you're already using, but actually make the website useful and be something where when you send visitors there or people find you, again, at 11 o'clock at night when you're not there to sort of represent your business and your brand, they can connect with you, they can understand who you are, get a feel for you. And I've always said that, I think the big thing to remember in the space is that your website speaks volumes about your business, how you portray yourself. If that website isn't current, if it's not beautiful, I've always said to people, sometimes you're better off having no website at all than having a poorly designed website or one that doesn't function well or have tools like search links, like Real Scout Incorporated. And, Andrew, even the widgets that, exist outside of this for website, what is my homework that you've been developing, and how that ties into the Real Scout ecosystem and the lead nurture system. If you can get every single channel of what's coming on your site, whether you do have IDX, whether you've got Real Scout search links, whether you've got home search, whatever it is, everything should be feeding into Real Scout, into Follow Up Boss to really build that lead nurture system up and give that user the best experience possible. And again, it's to me, it's partnering with best-in-class companies like everybody on here. I just love learning about all this stuff. Tiffany, you and I spoke earlier today, and it's such a cool group of people building really cool shit. So that's how I look at it. It's a very cool, ecosystem here that really can change people's businesses and really generate more leads, more business heading into 2025. So I'm super excited for it, and we're going to keep developing stuff. This to me is the tip of the iceberg, which I think is really neat. We've just scratched the surface, right, Andrew? We've talked about, like, there's so much stuff that we can develop to actually take this further and integrate deeper and deeper. And to me, the deeper we can integrate those technologies into a website, subsequently everything else that you guys use on a daily basis, it's going to make that much more of a great experience for the consumer, for your clients, and keep them coming back more and more. So, we love building beautiful websites, and we love integrating cool technology. So this is it's a perfect fit.
Thanks, John. I want to get Tiffany in here. Tiffany, thoughts?
Yeah. So what John and I talked about, well, John and Brian and I talked about earlier today, I kind of want to bring this up because the first thing that my brain went to when I was thinking about how Agent Image can work really well with search links and actually also work really well with street text and call action too. Like all of these tools, you can tie them together and create an amazing tech stack. And it just really could be very impactful together. But we were talking about community pages. We were talking about creating an enhanced experience for a consumer. So let's say, for example, I'm in a military market. We have people moving across the United States with 3 months to find a house, move their kids, do all this stuff. They're doing all of this internet research, right? And they were like, I don't know where I want to live. My friend told me this, but I don't know. So creating a page where they can go to this page and it shows them all of the recreational activities, where the school ratings, not just the internet canned approach, but your experience. So John, tell us about that, because you have some people that are doing this at a really high level. And then I want to kind of jump into how you can use that to be an expert in your workflow.
I was just going to use that word, it's being the expert and the voice in your market. In other words, whatever that community is, you want them to land on a page and have it not just be sort of, a bunch of text, a bunch of links, a bunch of stuff they're not going to find useful. The more they can get sort of an immersive experience in those community pages and see you as the expert, the more you know that, hey, in this particular neighborhood, I want to show you these, equestrian properties, whatever they are, whatever my focus is. I want to be able to share very specific drill down detail of what I, as an agent, would search on the MLS. I want to provide that to you, the consumer, and keep you coming back to that page to look, okay, I'm going to see what the latest and greatest is in the markets is in my wheelhouse, what I'm looking for. What Andrew was showing earlier, where it compares, kitchens side by side, things like that. If you can do that, it's almost like a cheat sheet for the consumer. Like they actually can see and get real insight into who you are, why you provide this expertise, what different, how different what you provide is from the next agent over who they're possibly also talking to, looking at. That part is, and again, the search links piece of it is huge, because similar to hot sheets in the sense of an MLS or IDX thing, it's more than that. Like the actual detail and drill down information that Andrew and you guys have on, like, it truly is an MLS search. There are not typically those pieces at that depth on an IDX search. It doesn't mean you wouldn't have that on your site and they can't coexist. Part of what I love is that this thing can coexist. If you have a website with us and you love your IDX, your embedded IDX system for property search and stuff, totally fine. My thought when we developed this, and why we put a lot of focus on it, is if you're on the homepage, you land on someone's site, and you have a special banner that could say whatever. It could say, search every home in the area powered by Real Scout. And Andrew and I chatted about this for a while. I actually like using the Real Scout name because what people don't know, they're curious about. People see home searches all day long on every website. It could be, that's just the nature of a website. It's going to have that. But if you see something that's different, that actually is like, oh, what is this? And then it opens up into a whole new experience, and they understand the depth and the breadth of what's available to them. That's fucking powerful. Like that actually makes an impact and keeps people coming back, because that's something they probably didn't see on another website. It's something that may feel very much like a Zillow, Redfin, whatever experience may into it feels familiar, and they all of a sudden are sort of immersed into this world of looking through properties, having all these cool features that show stuff side by side that they can see and compare properties with ease. When you put them in that world, it's just that much more complementary to the site and the features you already have, and it makes you look like the expert. This shit makes you look good. That's how I look at it. This stuff makes you and takes your brand and your image to the next level, because again, while you've got the curb appeal of a gorgeous website, you now have really, teeth in on functionality, and you've got a grip on the audience and the user, and they're not going to go anywhere else. And it's rare you can say that. With a personal website, people will come and go. Some people will reference it. They're like, oh, my properties look good when I list them. Is this a professional presentation? That stuff exists, yes. But if you can actually get people coming back and being married to the site and utilizing it, that's what you want. And the last thing I'll say on it too is, kind of touched on this earlier, but what's dying in the space right now, in my opinion, is the all-in-one solutions that are sort of, they've got kind of everything bunched in, but nothing's really done well. There is so much great technology out there, guys. There's so much great tech that if you say, hey, I've got a website that's gorgeous, it integrates with products like Real Scout, like Follow Up Boss, that are lights out, going to change, and even Street Text, looking at what you guys do today, and Call Action, all these things, the more we can find ways to work together and integrate, it's so much better for everybody, for not only you guys who are using this productivity software and the stuff that helps your business, but it's doing a huge service to your clients, to the consumer, and it really makes you stand out and be different. So yeah, like I said, I'm just a big fan of collaboration. So
I want to paint a picture really quick. I know we've got to get to Q&A, so I'm going to be fast, Andrew, I promise. All right, so I'm going to go back to this military example, right? Military market. Let's just say I create an ad with Street Text. I'm running an ad that's targeted to an audience that is military relocation. You're using the words that the military uses, PCSing, those kinds of things, move from San Diego to Norfolk, understand the neighborhood, whatever, however you're wording that. I'm not the marketing genius, they are. You create that ad, right? That ad then brings people to your Agent Image website that is set up to give them all of the information. Looking for mil-spouse groups, want to find a mom and me group in this community, like connects them. Now you've not only provided value, you've also gained their trust. You're giving them things they need in a new market that they're going to. That website has all of the search links for, if you're interested in homes near this park, click here to view homes available in this park. Other officers tend to live in this area. I don't know. I don't want to get into fair housing stuff, but like all these kinds of things, right? Like live near this base or this base. You can create all of those search criteria in those search links. Now you add a tag to that. It flows into Follow Up Boss, which triggers your call action campaign. And you're sending them targeted messages over time that are talking about, you are probably 3 months from relocating. Have you scheduled your discovery tour of your next duty station? I would love to meet with you prior to that via Zoom to go through everything that you need to do so you have a great experience while you're here. But you have established trust. Nobody else is doing this, and you're doing this all with automation and technology. That's just one example. One example that I thought of in my market that would apply. What can you do in your market? Is it distressed properties? Is it vacation rentals or properties that might be good for, short-term rental? There's a lot of regulation around that. What kind of messaging goes behind that? It starts with the ad. And that could also be working your database and retargeting your database if you're not trying to bring new leads in. And it goes through providing the information that they want to see when they want to see it, which is a combination of agent image and search links, and the messaging that ties all back into that with call action. And that's all I've got. That's how they all work together, you guys.
Way to bring it all together. That's awesome. And I couldn't have said it better myself. And just to summarize at the highest level, what Tiffany just said, search links, this is the way that you create really custom searches that are geared to a particular audience, particular lifestyle, etc. Follow Up Boss is that hub connecting all these integrations together and moving contacts through your funnel. And then that targeted messaging that Tiffany was talking about, a lot of that is possible through auto nurture and what's the secret sauce of Real Scout, of getting the right communication sent out at the right time. So yeah, that was really well said, Tiffany. If you already have Real Scout, and you're on Real Scout Pro Plus, which you can usually tell by this little icon on the top left of your Real Scout account, then you could just go to templates and begin creating a template, kick off your search links. And with that, I want to move to some Q&A, and I'm just going to address a couple that I remember from the chat. There was a question about, IDX and traditional websites with IDX offerings. And I just want to share a little commentary on that. It's true that a lot of these website companies have IDX products that you already love. And if you love your IDX and it's working for you and you're generating leads and transactions because of it, don't mess with a good thing. But there are also opportunities to have hooks into Real Scout on your website. And so whether it's, do you want to know what your home is worth and punching in your contact information to get updates on your home's value, whether it's a big search bar that's powered by Real Scout is best in class when it comes to lead nurture and conversion. So that's one way to think about it. And just to piggyback on something John said earlier in terms of powered by Real Scout, you don't want your home search on your website to look like you built it, right? I think in the 90s and the early 2000s, that was a point of pride, right? Agents wanted their own app on their phone with their face on it or their logo on it. But in our research, we actually interviewed over 100 home buyers. And what we found is that when it looks like you built it, they're less likely to use it because they think they're not seeing all the listings. They're thinking they're only seeing the EXP listings, and they're like, "Well, wait a second, I want to go to another site so that I can see the Realtor doc or the the Remax listings and the Coldwell Banker listings, etc." So you want it to look a bit more neutral. And so while Real Scout, may not be a known consumer brand, it does signal to the consumer that it is a neutral third party. It's almost like if you go to a restaurant's website and they have Open Table, you want to make sure that it's a neutral brand that's providing that functionality. So that's, I think, some of the thinking that went behind that. I also saw a question about, hey, is there an upcharge to get access to search links? And search links is included in all of our Real Scout Pro Plus accounts. If you've signed up for Real Scout in the past year, then you're probably already on Pro Plus. But if you're not sure or you need help, just go to or just email support@realscout.com and we'll point you in the right direction. All right, other questions?
I was going
feel free to
touch on something
jump
you were saying, Andrew, if I could real quick. It's so powerful to have this on your website. If you already have a Real Scout subscription, you're there, putting this on your website is such a differentiator. Like I can't, kind of overstate it enough. it's a huge, huge addition to a site to incorporate these things. So yeah, that was just my 2 cents, because we were just saying right now it's way, way different to add these in versus what you see on a traditional website.
Yeah, I'll
Yep.
jump in on this. I think the single most important thing is really that you can match up what Stephen was talking to, messaging to the experience and having that really consistent experience. Oftentimes as customers, we feel duped. We fill out a form and then we get to the landing page and it has nothing to do with basically what was promised in the headline. And this granularity that you can have to create these search links allows you to really get like one-to-one kind of conversation, because nobody wants to have a conversation with one-to-many. They want to feel special. They want to feel like they have an agent on their team that is on their side, that is listening to what they're asking for and able to actually deliver that. And I think that these search links and the auto nurture programs from Rail Scout really allow you to get that hyper personalized one-to-one. And then on the front end, basically, let's say on the, instead of being always on digital, we might see a big push in terms of leveraging your yard sign. Like Tiffany mentioned, she's in a particular area where there's a lot of veterans. So maybe a sign writer that says, view all other homes that are accepting VA financing, and being able to basically deliver exactly that kind of message. Then specifically the kind of customer that you're working with. And then you can tailor all of your messaging thereafter to follow up with that long term, because keep in mind that 95 to 97% of your deals are gonna take 6 to 18 months to convert. And we need to be patient and have consistent messaging that people appreciate and want to receive.
Well said. Well, we are just about out of time. I know that there are some questions we didn't get a chance to address in the chat, but I want to respect everyone's calendar today. With that, I just want to thank Follow Up Boss and Tiffany for co-hosting this with us, and to our lovely panelists who had so much great wisdom to share today. This is being recorded, so if you missed any part of it or you want to rewatch it, don't worry, you will get an email shortly with the recording. So thanks everyone. Really appreciate your time today, and we'll catch you next time.